Cunningham. She's hit a couple triples in this one already. Good movement inside, ball loose. Bobcats basketball. 1 minute to go in the first quarter. Plenty of energy in the building here for the opening frame. Kick out, wing three. Off the front iron. Offensive rebound by the Bobcats. Good post move. Deflected by Meyer.
See, that's a ball that's got to come back out. Normally you might be able to go back up with that one, but this is not a matchup where you're going to be able to score in traffic.
Molly Murphy steps in, knocks over Karen Brosco, so there's going to be a foul called. Fourth foul for South Windsor, both teams with 4, with 38.3 to go in the first quarter. Pearsall, the inbounder. Too easy, underneath.
Yeah, just a defensive breakdown in that special situation.
Splitting the defenders, taking it all the way to the rack. There's Biancardi.
Well, just parting those two defenders in traffic. That's a major no-no now.
One thing
Wilton.
you got to notice right away from these guards for the Bobcats, they're willing to do that. Take it right away and not kill any clock.
Well, right, and I think, you know, truthfully, as good of a play as that was, that's, for the most part, when they've done that tonight, it hasn't worked out well because the help side defense is still there.
11-point lead for Wilton. 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. South Windsor with the basketball, trailing. Kick out, wing three, corner three, pardon. Well short. And they'll try to keep one up, no avail. And it's a lead for Wilton. A big one after a huge offensive performance. A team shooting over 50% from the floor. We'll see if the Bobcats can respond next.
It was us against the world, and now we just it's like I loved you so much.
CPTV Sports will revolutionize the way that you think about high school athletics. It's CPTV Sports In Focus, a new show debuting May 6th. Visit cptvsports.org/infocus for more information. Back here courtside with you, Brian Schnee, Adam Finkelstein. 26-15, Wilton on top here as we start the second quarter. Good to have you with us. The Bobcats in the white unis, Wilton the navy blue on defense. Little head fake, some space up and off the glass for two.
Nice job on that offensive possession, much better patience, really good floor spacing, and that's going to be the key to South Windsor's attack tonight.
Molly Murphy with the bucket. Traveling violation, no one heard the whistle.
Right. This officiating crew a little nervous tonight. If
I think so. I don't know. Is it the vibrant floor? Is it the 2 3-point lines? What is it?
I don't know.
9-point lead for Wilton South Windsor. Only bucket of the second quarter, and they get the basketball back after the traveling violation.
So that's too early. That's where they get swallowed up in the lane. They got to have some player movement, some ball movement, then look to attack the paint.
Biancardi top of the key now. She gets rid of it. Murphy. McConnell drives with a left hand. How about that off the window?
Tough shot.
26-19, Wilton on top. They'll try a triple. Short. Long rebound for the Warriors. There's Meyer. Power dribble up and off the glass. Big basket by Erica Meyer. And that puts Wilton back up by 9. Another look.
Wow. I I think if Coach Leclerc could see what we're seeing, he'd be all the more frustrated.
Keegan Caffrey comes in the game for South Windsor. 5'8" sophomore. Takes over on the low block. 6:25 to go in the half. Free throw good. 3-point play. South Windsor with the basketball, down by 10. Our Erica Wachter standing by with a little bit of something over there on the sideline. What's up, Erica?
Yeah, a little bit of something from the South Windsor side. I listened into that last huddle on the timeout, and Coach Leclerc just looked at his team and said, what defense do you want to be in? They chose to stick with the man-to-man, but he says they have to stay with their guys. He also told them, we know you're outsized down low, so it's all going to come down to boxing out and really just about the heart. But he did emphasize that he wants to see more transition because he feels that transition-wise, Wilton cannot keep up. Brian.
We'll have to see. South Windsor, a lot of work to do. They've handled the lane with opportunities like that quite well, but not on that possession.
But that's essentially what we knew the story of this game was going to be coming in, the speed of South Windsor versus the size of Wilton. I think the three-point shooting was something that we weren't expecting, and that was the difference in the first quarter.
That one off the mark. Drive, kick, head fake. Now back around towards the free throw line. Little extra spacing. That's a tough shot there against the towers.
See, when they get in there against those towers, they've got to hold that dribble, kick it back out, reverse the ball. They'll get something good on the second side of the floor.
Traveling violation called. Bobcat basketball. Still down 10 with 5.5 to go in the first half.
How about these numbers right now? Wilton has missed 9 shots in the offensive end. 6 of them, they've rebounded themselves.
No surprise when you've got the height there as well. I mean, you talked about that towards the beginning part of our broadcast about having a 6'3" player underneath that's going to go play Division I basketball.
But, you know, what you really don't get a sense of if you haven't seen this Wilton team before is they're more than just Erica Meyer. I mean, she's 6'3", but Erin Cunningham 5'11", Karen Brosco 5'10". Even their guards are 5'8" and 5'7", so they have terrific size across the lineup.
Stepping into that three and burying it is Haley English. Wilton continues to stay red hot from the floor. They expand it to now a 32-19 lead here in the second quarter. A drive in, and again, another close one and a high percentage field goal missed.
But that's the quickness from Gosselin that we were talking about in the open. She'll make that shot 9 out of 10 times.
Now this time stepping in a little bit, that one off the mark.
A little bit of a heat check, though. I'm not sure that's the shot that the Wilton bench is gonna want.
Eyewitness News is always on at WFSB.com, at your desktop or on the go. Channel 3 is delivering local news when and where you want it. Eyewitness News is on your side. 4:37 to go here in the second quarter with Wilton on top. South Windsor basketball after the loose ball foul. Drive in and a kick out. Corner three. Short. Chased down on the offensive end by Gosselin. She'll try a floater. Rejected by Meyer. Now nowhere to go. They say last touch off of Wilton, so it'll stay Bobcat basketball with 4:08 to go in the half.
But you see what I mean? When South Windsor gets in the lane and they find a post defender there, they've either got to kick the ball out or hold their dribble and get out of there themselves.
Now a three ball. That one back iron. The Bobcats having a tough time shooting from the perimeter. And Adam, as you know, player, coach, mentor, recruiting analyst, I mean, you could shoot your way out of this game pretty quickly, especially here with the big spotlight.
Well, they're going to have to make shots, though, to have any chance to win this game. That's the bottom line, because if they're not making shots, the Wilton help side defenders can camp out in the lane, and then they really just won't be able to score in the lane.
Now 0 for 6 from behind the arc.
I do think they could be a little more patient. As I said, they've got to score early in the clock, or they've got to make Wilton chase them in the half court. Great cut.
Another nice feed from Meyer right at the top of the key. Throws a BB right down to Cunningham, and Wilton and the fans love it. Timeout called. A quick 30 from the Bobcats. It's 36-19. Wilton doing it all, and that's a great example of how you get it done when you don't have the opportunity to shoot like Meyer did. She found the better option.
Well, it's such an underrated part of Meyer's game. She's an outstanding passer at the post spot. She can come up to the high post. In fact, that's typically how she's used in this Wilton half-court offense. They bring her up to the high post and allow her to facilitate for those around her because she can see over and pass over the defense.
See some of the South Windsor fans in there in the mix. They're going to have to turn up the volume here just a little bit. Wilton, I think, doesn't have the crowd edge, but just from where I am, about dead center on this court, I feel like the Warriors fan base might have the edge with the energy level.
They're a little more rowdy, but this is, of our fourth game today, South Windsor has the biggest student section I've seen so far.
Drive and kick out a wing three, all in motion, short. Tip up in the air. Corralled by the Warriors, nearly thrown away. Wilton will keep it, and a foul call.
Well, those are the shots that South Windsor's going to have to make because that was a good rhythm look. Had her feet set. She was able to step in. They're just going to have to knock those down.
Clipping the timeline, inside 3 to go in the first half. Meyer down the lane. Couldn't get her own rebound. Bodies fly. Coach LeClaire wants a call of some sort. Picks up the basketball to help out the official and I think get a little extra time to chat over there.
That's right. You want the ball? Come talk to me. Great passing, though, by Wilton. Pretty give and go, and that's from their front court players.
Taken out underneath, they'll have to flip out in between the two circles.
Good baseline out-of-bound defense that time.
Wide open. That shot off the back iron. Bobcats have it. A foul called there on Meyer. Didn't have anything set. I guess that's probably the way you want to go from here on out, Adam, is try to at least get Meyer in foul trouble if you're South Windsor.
But you know, I just think they're more than just one player, especially offensively. I do think that Meyer's value offensively is a little underestimated. You know, she averages 14 points a game, and you say to yourself, geez, she's going to Providence. I thought she'd score a little more. But she is utilized as a facilitator. She really creates offense for other people with her ability to pass the ball.
Meyer again. Gets hacked this time by Goslin. Tried to sky up and knock that pass out of Meyer's hand here with 2:24 to go in the first half. And now Meyer will go to the free throw line here for the 1-and-1.
The adjustment South Windsor's got to make when Meyer catches the ball at the high post, South Windsor's immediately collapsing on her. They're all turning and looking at the ball. They've got to adjust to the fact that she's playing as a passer. They've got to make sure they continue to guard their own player, don't give up any cuts, and force her to make a shot.
Meyer hits the front end, will get the second. Benz releases, doesn't go. However, the rebound there by Cunningham and up and off the square for 2.
Yeah, it's inexcusable for South Windsor, and this lead now is ballooned to 20.
Nowhere to go, but it's going to stay South Windsor basketball in front of the Wilton bench. And they will go to the bench again. Matala will come back in the game, this time for Haley English.
Well, Wilton has such good size that if you don't force the defense to move, there's just going to be too much traffic to get all the way to the rim.
A drive, a kick, a long 2. That one goes.
Well, those are the shots they need to make. That's what they need to keep that Wilton defense honest and, most importantly, keep them spaced out.
Carlin's a tough time getting back on defense. And a foul going to be called on Matala after both going for the loose basketball with 1:51 to go in the first half.
But that was the exact same play. So Meyer catches the ball in the high post. Carlin's got her man in the corner, and she stops and looks at Meyer. She's looking at the basketball, which is what you're taught to do, but that's what Wilton wants you to do, so her man able to make that quick back cut right behind her head to the rim.
Alyssa Carlin's at the free throw line. Hits the front end.
It's a very well-coached Wilton team, especially on the offensive end. They do a great job of cutting into their defenders' blind spots, back cutting, if you will, right behind the defender when they look at the ball or jump to the ball.
Carlin's at the line for the second. It goes. 39-23 inside 2 minutes to play here in the opening half. It's the Class LL Girls Basketball Championship right here on CPTV Sports. Tough pass underneath. Matala gives it up. Meyer into double coverage. Now out again underneath, this time slipping through is Holmgren.
But another terrific pass by Meyer. She attracted two defenders, made the little shovel pass, showing the versatility in terms of her passing ability.
Carlin can't keep the dribble. An 18-point lead for Wilton.
Meyer's got to be on pace for close to triple-double numbers. I mean, she's just filling up all columns of the stat sheet here.
Kicked out, corner three. Yeah, everything. Everything for Cunningham.
How about that? Meyer's numbers to this point, 9.7 rebounds, 4 assists. Incredible numbers.
Skip pass cross court. This time a quick slide in. Doesn't go. Wilton with the basketball under a minute to play here in the first half. They've built up a big lead. Cunningham wide open underneath. Holmgren doesn't get it to go, but she gets fouled with 46.3 to go